Welcome to our classroom. In this space, we talk about education, which is inclusive of, but not limited to, what happens in schools. Education is taking place whenever and wherever we are willing to learn. I'm your host, Roberto Germán from Multicultural Classroom, and I'm glad that you could join me in this moment. We got a guest for you this evening. My guest this evening is Yeimy Medina. Yeimy Medina was born in the Dominican Republic, grew up in Curacao, and growing up, she never loved her natural hair and didn't think it was beautiful. In the Dominican Republic, if you have natural hair, it's considered bad hair. In 2019, a friend inspired Yeimy and encouraged her to love her natural hair the way God created it. Yeimy did her big chop in April 2019 and had to learn how to love and care for her natural hair. She created a natural hair page because she wanted to encourage other women to love themselves the way God created them. So excited to talk to Yeimy this evening, to hear from Yeimy about her journey, to understand why it is that she created this video blog and why she's doing these video tutorials, why hair maintenance is so important, and how it is that we can potentially connect this to what's happening in schools, or how it is that we can pass on some educational pieces that our educators should be aware of, especially if they're working with kids who have my type of hair texture, Yeimy's type of hair texture, coarse hair, very curly hair, right? And we really want to draw people into this conversation. We want them thinking about, if you're an educator, thinking about who's in front of you, the learners that are in front of you. But you don't have to be an educator. This applies to parents too, right? Parents who may struggle with managing hair maintenance for their children. So this is for them also. But this is also for the young folks. And there might be some young folks who might be struggling with their hair and with their identity as a result of that. And so we want to encourage them. We want to affirm them. There also might be some young folks who are listening who perhaps at times don't consider the things they say or the things they do that impact others. So for example, when you just go and touch somebody's hair, and especially in the context of like, you're going and touching a hair of a black kid, you haven't been given permission, you're doing it in a way that, it might come off as like, oh, this person's exotic or whatnot. Not cool. And so we want to draw people into this conversation. We're glad that you're here with us this evening, and hopeful that it will be a fruitful conversation for our audience. I'm certainly excited, and I know it's going to be fruitful for me. This is for all of us, right? Because this is our classroom. And so welcome to Yeimy Medina. I've shared your bio with the people, and I'm so happy to have you here. Talked about doing this for some time and finally able to connect. So welcome, Yeimy.
Well,
Bienvenidos.
thank you so much for having me. Gracias por darme la oportunidad para venir a Multicultural Classroom. Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate you
Qué
guys
placer.
doing this.
And for those who are joining us this evening, all right, if you haven't noticed already, this is going to be a bilingual episode.
Yes.
All right, we'll be jumping in and out of Spanish and English. It might be a trilingual because Jamie also speaks papamiento, right?
Papiamento.
Papiamento.
Yes.
All right, I'm still learning, folks. But Jamie, as I mentioned, she was born in Dominican Republic, grew up in Curacao, has been in the United States for a while. So Jamie is very cultured.
Yes, indeed.
So excited to have you. Why don't we start by you just sharing your background? I've already shared a little bit, but give us some more details about your background and where you're from, because it's fascinating. You know, you got all these elements that make you a person that has seen some different places, but also have different experiences and very cultured. And you got three languages. So yeah, you're just like so exciting and offer so much to the world. So tell us about your background. Where are you from?
So, I was born in Dominican Republic. Yo nací en la República Dominicana,
¿A dónde?
en La Romana.
En
I
La
was
Romana.
born
Okay.
in La Romana, and I grew up in DR up until I was 11. So a los 11 años. So yo fui a la escuela desde kinder hasta el quinto grado, me parece, until fifth grade, and then we moved to Curacao. And that was a shock. Eso fue algo bien, I don't know how to say shocking, but como un choque de cultura, básicamente, porque yo no sabía nada ni inglés, un poquito de inglés. I only knew like the numbers or the ABCs, but I didn't know papiamento and then Dutch to like, because
Wow.
all the classes over there are in Dutch. And
Wow.
so it was quite hard in the beginning. It was horrible actually in the beginning because I didn't know neither of the other three languages at the time. So like you could be in the classroom and the kids like the teacher says a joke and everybody's laughing and you're the only one that is not laughing.
Wow.
So tú sabes, tú puedes estar en la clase y están diciendo una broma y tú estás ahí like, oh my God, ¿qué dijeron? Like, ¿qué yo
Right.
hago? Pero mi determinación era tan grande de yo aprender el idioma que yo me puse a aprender. Like I would talk to people, I would try, like even if I say it wrong, I would talk to people, aunque lo decía mal, pero they were gracious enough to correct me and to tell me, no, this is how you say it.
Right.
And then my church community was a big impact. That's when I started going to church.
Okay.
When we moved to Curacao. So Curacao was amazing actually. In the beginning it was rough. Era bien difícil, especialmente para un niño de 11 años, otra cultura, otro. But lucky for me, there was a lot of people that, like, there was a lot of Dominicans, a lot of Venezuelans in the classroom, so they help out too. So that was Curacao. So I have to learn all them languages.
I think it was awesome what you said in terms of, you were willing to try even if you messed up, because that encompasses the education journey. Que estamos dispuestos a cometer errores, pero también estamos dedicados a progresar, a aprender, dedicated. We're all right with making mistakes because we're dedicated to growth and progress.
Yeah, I was so determined because I love languages more than math. Math was never my forte, but I do love, I mean, I'm a social person, so I do like to talk. So that opened up a whole new world, like to know in different languages, because papiamento is a mix of Portuguese, Dutch, and French, and English. So I was able to learn different words of different languages, and that was, to me, like that was the best gift my mom gave to us, the gift of exposure and allowing us to be in a different culture. And even at home, we didn't really speak Spanish at home. We spoke papiamento only.
Wow.
We only spoke Spanish with my grandma. So en la casa no se hablaba español casi. Solamente con abuela, pero con mi mamá, en verdad, nosotros lo que hablábamos no era papiamento. Entonces, en la escuela, todo era holandés. At school, so at home we would speak papiamento only, and then with grandma we spoke Spanish. But then at school, all the classes inside the classroom, it was Dutch. Todo era en holandés. So I learned English with Dutch. Like the vocabulary words, the translation would not be in papiamento. It would be in Dutch. So that's how I learned English with Dutch.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite challenging, but here we are.
That's awesome. I mean, the challenge seems like also has benefited you greatly because you're able to communicate with a lot more people.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. I do keep in touch with my friends now because of social media. All of my friends that went to high school with me that now they live in Holland or Curacao, I'm able to still keep in touch with them and I speak. That's what keeps me like that I still know the language because I've been in the US for 21 years. So I don't have the practice as much, but because I keep in touch with my friends and one of my best friends, she lives in Holland. So but although we speak how we speak Spanglish, so we speak like el papiamento y español, like todo junto.
Wow. Qué bien. So you have a great video blog about hair care, which focuses on embracing one's natural hair, which is dope. I love it. But you didn't always love your hair. Where did those negative feelings and perceptions about your hair come from?
Well, that's easy. Dominican Republic. Unfortunately, our culture has instilled in us that if you have curly hair, if you have natural hair, afro, your hair is bad. Like my shirt. Like check out my shirt. Like I don't know if you can see it. Pelo malo, where?
Yeah, I like that. That's dope.
So like as soon as I was a child, like as growing up, it was difficult because people didn't know how to handle. Like I had a lot of hair. Like if you think I have a lot of, when I was 7, I have a picture with like my two buns, like huge buns, and to do my hair then it was a challenge because not a lot of people could do my hair. The only person that could do my hair, like Dios la bendiga que tenga el cielo, mi abuela que me crió, que yo me crié con mi abuela de parte de padre. Ella era la única que tenía la paciencia suficiente para sentarse y me recuerdo que me lo ponían en mitad para poder hacerlo because it was a lot. So she would wash one half of it and then detangle and then like prep and then like the other half. I mean, that would take like 3 hours. So the easiest way too is alisado. Like, oh, I don't have to deal with all of that. You can send you to the salon and stuff. So, but the perception came from the culture, like la cultura dominicana, si tú tienes el pelo afro, el pelo natural, ay, vete peínate, tú no te has peinado, o tiene pelo malo. And that came from, the generations. That's how we were taught. We were brought up to think that, to believe that.
Yeah, como eso está adentro de uno.
Adentro de uno, like your hair is bad. Like tú tienes pelo malo, like, yeah. So, and I grew up like that. I did not, like, I remember one of my best friends, she used to be like, oh my God, you would look great with natural. I'm like, I know, yo no quiero eso, no. Like, she would tell me, like, you should go natural. Like, your hair is beautiful. You should definitely. And I'm like, no, that's not for me. That's not for me. I did not love it. I did not at all because of, again, and then my mom used to own a salon. So I guess my hair was always, straight, like derristado. No me podía salir ni la orilla de una vez, de que me salió una orilla ya.
Wow.
Me cortaba la orillita and, my hair always had to be like on point. What I thought that was like, and I didn't feel beautiful if I didn't have my hair like done. Like hair has always been a huge thing for me, and I didn't.
It is for a lot of us. Y no solamente para las mujeres, porque yo lo siento también.
Yeah.
Es más, te voy a decir algo. Hace varios años que me invitaron a predicar a la iglesia. Y antes de predicar, so they invited me to preach. Before preaching, there were concerns.
Mm.
Estaban preocupados alguna persona de la congregación. You know, people in the congregation were concerned that I was going to get up there. At the time, I had twisties.
Yes, I remember
My
that.
hair was, yeah, all right. So this is years,
Yeah, yeah.
because I've always been kind of like, I've always been journeying with my hair. And at that time, and you know, like this is a process, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
growing locks is a process, and you got to have a discipline and be committed. At the time, I had twisties, and like uh, some people had expressed concerns about me getting up to the pulpit and preaching with my head twisted up or whatever. I'm like, ha! I'm like, if that is what you're concerned about,
Wow.
I got news for you.
You ain't heard nothing yet.
Si eso es que le pregunto, que le pregunto,
Le
sorry, I'm
preocupa.
stumbling,
Le preocupa.
preocupa a la gente. Yo tengo, entré con noticias para ellos. Porque imagínate, like, there are so many real things happening in the world that deserve our attention, right? Hay muchas cosas que están pasando en el mundo que merecen nuestra atención. And like, people concerned about my hair. I'm like, no, let's be concerned about like people's healing and
Mm-hmm.
people hurting and the unity that's needed and all that. And that, you know, that ended up being the message,
Right.
right? That we're supposed to be one body. So that feeling is not just something that is present for women. I'll tell you that for sure. That's definitely, I know I can speak from my own experience. That's definitely also been something present for me. But it's also one of those things where I'm like, oh, you know what? Like, nobody's, your attitudes are not going to dictate the way I move, right?
Yeah.
Es como que uno siente libertad, vamos a decir.
Exacto. Ahí yo me sentí. I'll get there, cause
Yeah. Yeah. And so I want you to talk about how you address people who make comments that reinforce this harmful narrative of so-called good hair, bad hair, pelo bueno, pelo malo. ¿Cómo es que tú le respondes a la gente cuando comienzan a hablar así?
no, porque mi pelo no ha matado a nadie, so there's nothing wrong with it. You know, and that's what I tell them. Nada, cuando tú estás malo porque algo está mal contigo. Like somebody, you know what I mean? Like if there's something wrong, like I don't know how to explain it, but like that's how I address it. Like mi cabello no le hecho ningún mal a nadie, so it's beautiful just the way it is. It doesn't need fixing. No necesita que arreglarse. No necesita nada de eso. So that's the way I approach it. A lot of people don't really, you know, don't really say things negative. But I do hear like the old school, ay, que ese pelo malo. Like my mom still like trying to like, she still like stops herself and then you know, because it was difficult. Like, because when you first go natural, a lot of people criticize you and a lot of people are not understanding what's going on. You know, like the people's projection, like that's how they project themselves to you. So, you know, and it's hard and you need to be ready to go natural. It's a process. For me, how it came about, one of my best friends was the one that inspired me. She's in this life. And she's the one that showed me like there's nothing wrong with your hair. Like your hair is just beautiful. Accept it just the way it is.
Yeah.
And she had natural. Claro que sí. Levanta la mano, Eliana. She's here. So yeah, she was the one that inspired me personally to you know, and with that came the guidance to how to care for this because I'm a hairdresser. Girl, my mom always instilled in me that you have to in life you have to learn different things. Tú tienes que aprender de todo. So I was there in my mom's salon learning how to do rollers with the big tears, con los lagrimones. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I want to be a secretary. I'm not doing this. I work in an office. She's like, no, usted se va a sentar y aprender a hacer rolo. Usted no sabe de qué usted va a vivir en la vida. So that's my mom. And I'm grateful for that lady. She's you know, she's amazing. I'm glad that she did that for me because she taught me that you have to do anything in life in order for you
Mm.
to you know, to go somewhere in life. To, you know, you have to be. She's a go-getter. So I lost my train of thought, but anyway, a lot of people didn't understand what I was going through. Like my family was getting ready to do a to do an intervention. You know,
Wow.
yeah, because they didn't understand. Because like I was transitioning, right? Like my friend gave me the tools and for me to like care for my hair, which meant that I didn't have to apply heat. I couldn't go to the salon and do rolos and do all that stuff. Like once I was serious, um, you know, I had to learn. She gave me the tools, and that's what inspired me to open up my page, to give people the tools that they need when they go natural. Like if you have your hair like the same texture as me, maybe that product that I'm using is going to be good for you. So I'm teaching you how to do it. Not only am I teaching you how you love it just the way it is, but I'm teaching you how to care for it. And that's
Mm.
one of the things that she did for me. She helped me how to do that, and then like other changes, you know, went along with that. And it took me back to Psalms 139:14, that, you know, it says that we were fearfully and wonderfully made. And
Mm.
and and then
Yeah.
the psalmist goes to say, and your works are wonderful, and I know that too well. So
Mm.
by me not accepting, you know, my natural hair, it was as if I was telling God, like, you did something wrong. Like this, you know, I was not wonderfully made.
Mm.
And you know, that's something that, and that verse, este versículo de que cuando el salmista estaba diciendo, you know, tus obras son maravillosamente, te alabaré porque tú me creaste asombrosamente y maravillosamente. So, and
Mm.
that verse is very deep in my heart, because I learned that, you know, accepting the whole outside,
Right. Right.
you know.
No, that's beautiful. That's great. And that is a verse for us to embrace whenever we're having those feelings, those, you know, because right, it's been ingrained in us. So there's a lot of rewiring that has to be done. Um,
Right. You said the word rewire.
yeah,
Literally, yeah, you said it. I couldn't have said it better. Rewiring. When you're rewiring something, it's like you're making it back, like you know, I don't know how to say that in Spanish. Cuando tú estás como tienes que recordarte
hmm,
espérate, no, mi pelo es lindo. You know, like, you know,
no,
so it's
exactamente. Y obviamente el enemigo quiere que nosotros pensemos así, right? You know, like the enemy will use people and speak to people to get us, to try to get us to a negative place, right? And so that's, thank you for sharing that verse, because that's definitely something to hold on to in moments where, you know, we're feeling, we're not feeling beautiful and wonderfully made. um I, you know, I want to kind of touch upon like what you've been building with your social media platform. You started something from scratch. You want to do the video tutorials to support people, to give them guidance on hair care, hair maintenance, to help them to love themselves and see themselves as beautiful and whatnot. You were able to grow your platform to over 10,000 on Instagram within a year. How did you achieve such significant growth in a short amount of time, and what support did you receive along the way?
that's it. You said it. Support. That's the number one word. Hey, baby. I started the story with this page is weird because I started my page. I opened up my page so I can share my journey. Just share pictures of before and after. That was the whole purpose. Like, you know, it wasn't like to create. I didn't know how to. I didn't have a clue how to do videos. Yo no sabía nada de cómo hacer video. I'm still learning. I'm just not that I'm a pro now. But I opened my page, yo abrí mi página en mayo del 2020, ¿verdad? Antes de cumplir el año, cuando cumplí un año de tener el pelo rizado. Entonces, en mayo yo la cerré. Ese mismo día, I was like, ay no, yo no sé hacer videos, yo no sé, there's a lot of fear came in. I'm like, I
Mm,
don't know how to do this. There's a lot of influencers that already do what I want to do. You know what? I'm going to close the page. yo dije, yo la cerré, yo la deactivé la página. But
Wow.
I only had a profile picture, that's it. So I deactivated the page, and it turns out that the page never got deactivated.
Wow.
It was just lingering there. And then like a month later, I'm like, without one post, I had like 50 followers. I'm like, what the heck? Like, what is this? This is deactivated. Like, how can I have followers? So, sin ni un post, yo tenía 50 seguidores. I was like, maybe I'm onto something here. So I'm like, you know what? God didn't give me a spirit of fear, but of love, self-control.
Love, power, and
Power
self-control.
and power, yes. So, yo no me di un espíritu de temor. So, yo dije, yo voy a quitar ese temor, que Dios no me lo dio, y yo lo voy a abrir otra vez la página. So, I'm like, I'm going to reopen it. So, in the meantime, I met this friend that prior to my page, I don't know how we met, honestly, and she featured me in her page, maybe for my big chop and whatnot. And so, I started opening the page. She started following me, and she would post me on her story. So I got a little bit of exposure. Then I reached out to my personal Instagram. I had like 800 followers. So I made a post on me, hey guys, go follow me here. So a lot of people to support me, even the people that don't have natural hair, they came along and they supported me. Facebook, same thing. Hey guys, go follow me. I was really annoying to people. Like, I would make a lot of posts. Yo siempre, pero I'm a go-getter. So cuando yo quiero algo, yo me enfoco y that's it. So, como en eso de agosto, por ahí. So, yo le abrí en junio. So, en agosto ya yo tenía 1,000 seguidores. In like a few months, like 3 months. So, my other friend kept like helping me out, and she knows a lot of influencers in Dominican Republic. So she's like, why don't you do a giveaway? Ella me dijo, vamos a un giveaway con una influencer de República Dominicana. And like, she reached out to her on my behalf. And because of that giveaway.
Yeah, Miss Rizos.
No, Miss Rizos is another influencer. So because of that giveaway with her, I gained like 4,000 followers. I already had 1,000, so it brought me to 5,000 followers. Wow. But here's the thing: when you do giveaways, people unfollow you when they don't win, especially Dominicans. No hay más gente que le guste los giveaways más que un dominicano.
Hey.
I'm telling you. So,
yo soy así también.
Pero a mí me meten en todos los giveaways. Yo participo. I've won a few. Anyway. So, lo que pasa con el giveaway es que mucha gente te deja, una vez que ellos no ganan, te deja de seguir. Se van. Ay, no, me fui. Y te unfollow. So, guess what? When people do like your stuff, they stay. So they stayed. Yeah. A lot of them stayed. A lot of them left, but a lot of them stayed. So that's how I was able to grow it to get to the 5K. And then the rest is history. Like, be consistent. I was consistent. I don't post every day. I post every other or every 3 days, and I have a network. There's a lot of influencers that I follow back. They follow me. We support each other that way. I post them on my stories. They post me on their stories. And that's how I'm a people person, as you know. So, a lot of people, I'm a go-getter. I'll reach out, hey, and I do post a lot of my stuff. I belong to a bunch of Facebook groups, natural hair Facebook groups, and on my videos there's my watermark. So está el nombre de mi página en los videos arriba.
Sí.
Entonces mucha gente de esas páginas de Facebook
van reconociendo el brand de Yeimy.
Exacto. Y vienen todas para acá. Yo hago mucho live en esas. Hay una en particular que la dueña de esa página me dijo, ay, esto se está poniendo demasiado, ayúdame. Y ella me pidió a mí ayuda y a otras muchachas. Nosotros manejamos esa página que tiene 100,000 y pico de miembros. Entonces yo hago mucho live ahí. Yo pongo mi contenido ahí y le digo, hey, mujeres, vayan para allá, apóyenme. Vayan a ver los videos allá en Instagram, porque me preguntan muchas cosas. Y ya todas esas preguntas que ellas me hacen en los live, ya yo tengo videos que hablan de esas preguntas que ella me hace.
Entonces lo dirige ya. So you direct them over there.
Yes, I do lives, as I'm doing my hair. I do my hair and I'm live doing my hair. Like, okay, what do you want to know? Answering their questions. And then they're like, I'm like, go follow me. But there are Facebook groups that don't like you to advertise their stuff. But in this particular group, I advertised because the owner, basically, she gave it to me and my other friends. So we managed the group for her. We accept the post, we approve the post and stuff. So that's how I was able to grow it to right now I'm at 11K, which
You
is
know,
insane.
I love
Insane.
what you're doing because I think it's a great model for our young people. And sometimes our young people want to do things, but they don't have a vision. And then they also allow discouragement to stop them from doing the things that they want to do, or they might be battling with fear and they need somebody to encourage them to get over the hump, or they need somebody to that's done it, right? That can lay out a template. And so what you're doing is you're modeling for others, whether they're young or not, but you're modeling for others that, listen, you could take something from scratch, something that you're passionate about, and build it up and make it yours and own it. And no, you don't have to do it alone. You could do it in partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Collaboration is key. Consistency is key. But being passionate about what you're doing
Mm-hmm.
and creating good content is also key. And you're doing those things. And so salute to you, props to you. If you could briefly just touch upon how you think we could possibly apply this in schools, because from my perspective, right, because I'm an educator and this is what I do, this is what my platform's about. It's about education, but education doesn't just happen within the four walls of the classroom. But I think that there's some things that happen outside of the four walls of the classroom that we should actually bring inside to the four walls of the classroom. And so I'd love for you to briefly touch upon that. How do you think we could transfer this into the schools in some way, shape, or form?
You said the word collaboration. I mean, you can, like, how it worked out for me. Remember, I went to a school where there was a big language barrier, and how I was able to succeed in my school was through my peers. Like I was always reach out to the peers that was like smarter than me, like that were better at Dutch, that were better at math. I would always hang out with those kids, and just reaching out, like getting the help that, like that's how I would apply it. Like collaborations. Like I reach out to a lot of people for help, and that's how I would apply it.
That's great. I'd love to see some collaboration between one of the local schools and you. The one that most readily comes to mind is the vocational school, because they already have a component there. And I think it would be great if they would reach out to you. So, hey, if somebody here works at the Voc in Lawrence, I'm challenging you and encouraging you to reach out to Yeimy Medina, get her on there, get a little stipend to come in and school the young people on some hair maintenance, natural style, right? Because we want to continue to push that movement, not just in Lawrence, but way beyond. And I know you're reaching people all over the place. But again, if folks, and not just the vocational school, because this would be dope if it was happening at a Lawrence high school, right? If we could engage our young people to take their energy and take their passion, be like, yo, let's put this to use. Many of them are, but some of them need to be redirected, and this would be a great way to redirect them. So I'm challenging the schools in the greater Lawrence area to reach out to Yeimy Medina, get a stipend for her, all right? Because yesterday's price is not today's price, as Fat Joe stated. So get a stipend, and let's get Yeimy some money so she could school the kids and help them and give them some direction. I really support what you're doing. I follow your page.
I
My
appreciate it,
daughter,
man.
who's 6 years old, and she, she has very thick hair like you, very curly hair, long hair, beautiful, beautiful hair, and she follows your page. And well, we follow it, but
She watches, yeah.
she's witnessing, and I know that she loves what you're doing, and it's affirming to her. And so I salute you. and I want you to keep pressing on. There's no limits to what you could do in terms of building your brand and whatnot. But know that you're making an impact, even with my kid who's 6 years old, with my
And
daughter
that's
who's
that's
six
what
years
it's
old.
about. That's what it's all about. Like I can have all these followers, but the intention is to help somebody. And I wish I to be the person that I didn't have as inspiration. Like I want to be the person that I didn't have. Growing up, I wish, man, my hair was so beautiful and I didn't even know it.
Mm.
I did
What do
not
you
know
wish?
it.
What do you wish your teachers would have told you? What do you wish about how they would have approached you? Because again, a lot of the people that follow my page are educators, and I think they need to hear this.
I just, like I want to encourage people to know that there's nothing wrong with their hair, and like especially little girls like that watch me. Like I want you to know that there's nothing wrong with your hair. That your hair is just beautiful, just the way God created it, just the way it grows out of your hair, just the way it was given to you. That's beautiful. And if you only knew how beautiful, I did not know that. I wish I had a Yeimy, like little Yeimy had a Yeimy like to model that,
De maestra
de
allá en la
maestra.
República Dominicana.
Exacto, que me enseñen, porque allá no te enseñaron eso, no me enseñaron eso, de que mi pelo era lindo, de que el pelo fino, el pelo straight era el pelo lindo.
Bueno, no,
So,
esperamos que con los esfuerzos que tú estás haciendo y otras, que eso va a cambiar, que poco por poco va a cambiar y que la gente allá van a responder. Y aquí también. So, for those who are watching, what is a message of encouragement that you want to offer them?
Say hi, Roberto. Di hola.
¿Cómo está, amiguito?
Just to love and accept yourself just the way that God created you. That's that's the message.
Awesome, awesome.
Go ask Keke to open this for you. I can't.
And for those who are new, that you're new to, I guess, where can they follow you?
Well, I do have a YouTube, but I'm not really active. I can't keep up. As you know,
I understand.
I am a wife, a mother of two. I work full time because it's not my full time job. Some people thought it's my full time job. Go ask Daddy, Papi. I can't open this. Sorry, Mommy. Here you go. Come on. Here you go, buddy. Here you go. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you, Mommy. Okay. I'm sorry, where was I? I got distracted.
You work, you're a mother of two. Some people think this is your full-time job.
Right. So I don't have this is what I do on the side. You know what I mean? I don't have the time that I wish I could dedicate to this. So that's why I don't post a lot of things on YouTube because I can't keep up. So Instagram is something that is natural to me, so they can follow my Instagram. I do have a YouTube, but they can follow both if they want. And my Instagram is Yeimy's Curls. My first name YEIMYS and Curls.
So folks, if you're not following Yeimy already, please make sure you do. Yeimy's Curls, natural hair care tutorials. And if not for you, then she's giving gems for somebody else that you could pass it along to. So please follow, support her. She's doing great work and really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gracias por tu tiempo. Gracias por los esfuerzos con tu página. Thank you for the efforts with your page. Looking forward to seeing the growth. Esperamos que va a seguir creciendo y lo bendecimos.
Thank you so much.
So, thank you all for joining this evening. You already know, follow us at Multicultural Classroom across all platforms. Make sure you like, comment, and share this particular episode because somebody's going to learn something. And Yeimy dropped a lot of gems for y'all, and we want to continue to affirm and support the people. Thank you all. God bless you. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being
Bye.
here. All right.